Alright, so I'm gonna be going over a gameplay with some post-game commentary, like we're in the good old-fashioned 2010 Call of Duty gameplay commentary stages with like White Boy 7th Street and PewDiePie and all those big legends of the past and present.
I would marry
So
a female linebacker.
we're in the game of Phasmophobia. This is Maple Lodge, and you see in the beginning I start off with the parabolic, a flashlight, and dots, I think, because the other players picked up all the other stuff. The items that I typically like to start with is EMF, camera, and flashlight. But on bigger maps, I'll drop the EMF and take the parabolic. I looked on the camera, or I looked at the big map in the truck to find the breaker, and I want to turn that on as soon as possible. So as I'm making my way to the breaker, I'm just checking all the tents, looking for hiding spots. There was one way back there, and there's one in this green tent right there. So I just have those in the back of my mind for when the ghost hunts. I know where to go and where to hide. The parabolic gives me... It took me a while to learn the parabolic because I always get confused by the random noises that other players or that you can make. Like when you flip on the light switch, when someone else flips on the light switch, when the... What's it called? The spirit box thing is staticky and stuff. That all picks up sound when the player opens the door and all that kind of stuff. So it gets a bit confusing, but I'm seeing like a 0.6 somewhere, so I'm thinking that it's near this area, but there's a lot of like outside noise, like that guy's spirit box is giving a 5.6 constantly,
I feel like it's at
so
the
I'm not
back house,
sure.
bro. It's always
There you saw me mark off Jin because...
Did something just get
Hold on, I'm
thrown?
gonna let this ghost
Is it
event
hunting?
happen.
What is that? That's a ghost event.
Boom, ghost
It's over
event,
here.
nice. But first I'm gonna talk about that Jin. I heard her say that the breaker was broken, so I immediately marked off Jin, because Jins cannot turn off the breaker. They will never turn off the breaker, so if the breaker shuts off, it's because it's not a Jin. It's any ghost but a Jin. But let's talk about that ghost event that just happened right there. If you are newer to the game, it is always safer to assume that everything is a hunt and to have your flight response ready to go. Once you've gotten more used to it, more experienced, you will be able to better discern between a ghost event versus an actual hunt. Like what I did, so back there, how I knew that that wasn't a hunt and it was a ghost event was because of two things. One, I heard the footsteps stepping right when the event started, so I knew that it was a ghost event because ghost hunts have a grace period, especially on lower difficulties. On nightmare mode, you get like a 1 second grace period or something, and on custom, you can turn off grace periods entirely. So what the grace period is that the ghost doesn't do anything for that 1 second. It just stands there, and you have like 1 second to 3 seconds to get out or to run away before it starts moving. The other reason why I knew that that was a ghost event and not a hunt was because the ghost wasn't flashing. You saw me stare at it for a second with my flashlight, and it wasn't flickering or anything, so I knew it was a ghost event because ghosts will flicker. So here what I'm thinking of is the ghost is somewhere around there. It's hard to pinpoint on large maps like Maple and Woodwind because the ghosts can be super roamy and you can't really find the ghost room. It's hard. But it's happening around there. It's hunting right now. So I run straight to the hiding spot that I have planned. I saw the lights turn off, so I knew the hunt was over. Always have your lights on in your hiding spot. While you're setting up your hiding spot, have the light switch flicked open so that way you can tell what's going on.
Yeah. Someone died.
A person has died, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna take a picture of her body
So I
and
spawned back here, bro.
we'll bounce out. Or when the... So right now, person who died, she thinks that it's a mare.
Spawned here.
Which isn't a bad call, but I'm still skeptical because her reasoning was because the breaker was being shut off frequently, which mares don't actually turn off the breaker more. Hantus turn off the breaker more because they like it cold. Mares would just turn off the lights. And it's hunting right now, but I just didn't say anything to the other guy. I just sort of ran, which I assume most of the time I assume people know when it's hunting or not, which maybe isn't the best teammate strategy for me. I'm not being the best teammate. These are all randoms that I'm playing with, so I'm not sure how experienced or how inexperienced they are, but they know what they're doing. It's not like a level, like a under level 50s or something who don't know things. So it hunted. I know it's safe for like a few seconds or like a minute, and I'm just trying to test spirit box. I saw it turn off the light right when I turned it on, so I'm getting mare vibes. It gave me spirit box just then, so backing out. That's our first piece of evidence. So if I can just get one more piece of evidence, it'll just be like nightmare mode, and the ghost will be easy to find. So here, marking it down, can't be a djinn. I've already marked that off. And everyone is dead. I'm alone. I've been in lobbies where people don't like playing by themselves, so they end up just leaving as fast as possible, which is fine. I get that. The only reason I would leave on a solo if I'm the last one is because I don't want people to wait too long at the dead room, because I find it really boring being dead. There's like nothing to do. So my plan now is just to, if I can, find a second piece of evidence
like a little bit
and
more evidence, and then
guess and leave. Because if you get if as long as I have a second one, it's just nightmare
we already
mode, and
got
nightmare
spirit
mode's
box.
easy. So I'm just repositioning the camera. I know the ghost is by the tent. I ate all the sanity pills, so I won't hunt. I didn't bring a flashlight in because one, I know how to navigate the map, but also I can pick off a flashlight from their dead bodies. It's always helpful once you've memorized the maps or you know how to move around in the dark, because then you can just drop flashlights. Like a lot of the more experienced players that I play with, they all drop their flashlights because that way you have more hands to move stuff around. So here, just double checking, move the camera closer, scanning the cartons and things for fingerprints if it's leaving fingerprints, bringing in a second dots. And then I see them throwing a ball at the EMF. So they need to mess with the
EMF 5?
communications with the dead players, because I thought I took that as it's an EMF 5, so I just have that, checked off temporarily. If I don't find anything else, I'm just going to assume that they're telling me EMF 5, and I'm just going to take it and go. But with EMF and Spirit Box, it's kind of iffy, because with the 3 ghosts that EMF and Spirit Box give is Wraith, Twins, and Spirit. And out of those 3, Spirit is the only one that makes sense, because Twins, it's not fast, it's not slow, and it's hunting from the same place. Wraith, it hasn't, hunted from a different place. It hasn't really teleported or anything. So the behavior-wise, I'm sticking with Spirit.
If you're saying
So, and I just want to leave because I want to get them back in.
I'm just gonna go with Spirit.
So I press the button to close it, but then right on the camera I notice that there's orbs, so I quickly sprint back and open the door. People don't know that once you close the door, you have like 5 seconds to reopen it back up, so don't be afraid to smash that door back open. So with the newfound information of orbs, it cannot be EMF 5. And so I have a new set of 3 ghosts. Ghost writing, dots, or freezing temps. It's not on Rio because there was no freezing temps when I checked. And dots is pretty frequent, or it should happen decently frequently, unless it's like some kind of weird annoying ghost. So I just watched it. There was no dots within like 10 seconds, so I was like, alright, I'm just gonna guess mare, especially since mare has been a debated idea in my head for a while, and it just made sense. And I was correct. We do have a mare,
He got it right.
and that's about it. Peace.
Great job on him.